Everybody want to be chosen by God. He chose you to endure long suffering, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit. Everybody want to be chosen by God until he says, no, I need you to sit in it instead of walk away from it. See, being one of God's chosen isn't always just cakes and rainbows. Sometimes it comes with sands and rocks, but you have to understand the reason for the sands and rocks. You have to understand the reason for the long suffering. It's not just about you. Favor is never about you. It is so that you can give it onto other people to bring his children back to him. You are not being broken just to be broken. You are being broken to become something greater. You are being broken so that you can prosper, so that you can now walk in purpose, and so that you can understand why you were put through that, so that you can minister it to other people, and so that you can bless other people. It's never just about you being chosen. It's not just blessings, 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 blessings. And if you think like that, you need to get in that word.
I asked a simple question. Why is BlackRock allowed to buy single-family homes? But I did not expect that question would make shit hit the fan. Because the post would not only get 2 million views, it would not only get community noted as being wrong, but community notes went out of their way to post that I was wrong on their timeline. And then I learned that this was a big deal to BlackRock. Like, they're paying for this search result. And they want to make it perfectly clear that BlackRock is not buying individual houses in the US. So then I thought, let me look a little bit deeper into this. Now, according to community notes, BlackRock does not buy homes. This post is likely referring to Blackstone, which does buy homes. Blackstone is the world's largest asset manager, a financial firm that manages over $1 trillion in assets and was founded in 1985. So I reposted community notes and I asked Grok if BlackRock and Blackstone have any common origins and who the 3 largest institutional investors are in Blackstone. And according to Grok, yes, BlackRock and Blackstone share common origins. BlackRock was founded in 1988 as Blackstone Financial Management, a subsidiary of Blackstone, and became independent in 1994 after Blackstone sold its stake to PNC. As of 2025, the top 3 institutional investors in Blackstone are Vanguard and BlackRock, who owns 51 million shares of the company. Oh, you silly peasant, it's just 51 million shares, which, okay, is about 6% of the company, and Vanguard owns about another 10%, but when you put that together, it gives them a lot of leverage over the board and the CEO. And I think this simple question getting 2 million views and clearly being viewed as threatening to big financial institutions touched on something deeper, that the American people are fed up that the rules and regulations all seem structured to benefit Wall Street. Because the housing market is not a free market. It's fiat currency and government-backed loans. It's the institution that caused the 2008 financial collapse and the banks that were bailed out by you and me. And you and I and our children shouldn't have to get into a bidding war with Blackstone to buy our single-family home. And this is why I write books on the history of the banking system. How information is controlled, fake news, our rights, how systems are corrupted, and how to live free. Because our kids deserve better. ClassicalLearner.com. And by the way, community notes, BlackRock is allowed to buy single-family homes. So you were wrong, just for the record. I made no claims, but you did when you said they don't buy homes. According to their own website, they buy multifamily homes and apartment complexes. You should give yourself a community note.
So this technique, it basically obliterates the mind. You get a chance to see how it feels to exist with no mind. You actually become enlightened. So this is the technique, and this is just a precaution. I want you to do this technique in a place that is safe. Stay away from sharp objects. Stay away from anything that is precarious. Remember, your mind will detach, and I don't want you hurting yourself. This is what I want you to do now. I want you to breathe in. And once you breathe in, I want you to hold it. So this is what I want you to do. You breathe in, hold it, and go down. Hold that same breath and go down. And keep holding it. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Go as low as you can go. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. And as you keep holding it, basically, by staying in this position, you're basically commanding your body to open up all the centers that lead to your brain and so forth. And by you holding in that breath, you're basically pushing all of the channels of energy to your higher chakras. So that is why it's pivotal that you hold in your breath as you do this motion. And all you have to do is wait for your body to enter no mind. And it's that simple. Try it right now. You hold in your breath. Of course, I don't want to do it in this video because I might fall. It don't matter. Let me show you. Just now, you probably won't believe me, but I left my body. You know what I'm saying? So, try this technique out. Holding your breath. Just wait for it, guys, and it will happen. You will enter no mind. And this is something that is great for the body because once you shut off your mind, you actually get to relax your body. You actually get to relax yourself. And just so you know, I could have fell down, but I just decided to be in the squat, you know what I'm saying? But when you're in that position, just let your body do what it wants to do. So you might want to lay on a bed or anything that you feel comfortable with. But as you stay in this pose, go as low as you can go, holding that breath, and just wait, and it will happen. It takes about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and it kicks in.
One in the chat if you can hear me okay. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties, so I'll be sure to keep an eye on the chat to make sure y'all can hear me okay. With that being said, peace to the family, peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. I'm the Hood Mystic. Today we're going to be talking about astrology. The topic in reference to astrology is going to be Sun squared Uranus transit, coming off a new moon, as well as having the minor sign the minor grand trine, not minor sign, but minor grand trine that's taking place between Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, and Pluto. So, specifically, what Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn and Pluto represent is a spiritual awakening, also known as a golden age. The catalyst today will be the moon, and the moon will be in the first decan of Scorpio. So, where do you find your spiritual awakening? You find your spiritual awakening through your work, through your service. Now, if your service is something that you don't get paid doing, then that is your work still. So sometimes our work could be our hobbies, our crafts, the thing that we love doing. And that is where we'll find spiritual awakening at. And maybe we're not the best at it right now, but in order to get to where we want to get to with our crafts, with our skill, with our service, is that we have to get into practice. We have to get into repetitions. So, a life hack for today with the moon being a catalyst to the grand sign trine. I said it again, minor. I haven't drunk no coffee, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. Y'all got a third grade reading level and no coffee, so It's going to be a rough one. Just kidding. But no, seriously, the moon opposing Saturn and Neptune is what we call a catalyst, because there is a minor grand trine between Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune. We have a conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. So, in our ability to be spiritually proficient, it is some would call difficult, but the reward is working through that difficulty. So, on the onset of our problems, issues, and concerns, there is a silver lining to the cloud, or a light at the end of the tunnel, one might say. The real reason that I want to talk to you guys is through the lens or the scope of the sun squaring Uranus. So what I would do is bring it into focus real quick. Hopefully everybody is having a great day, right? So check out the Substack. Link is in the description. And what I'm looking for, that's what I'm looking for, is I'm going to put out an article after this video, but I'm going to attach this video with the article. But with all of that being said, this is just the isolated planets that we're going to be talking about. We have the Sun in Leo, and we also have Uranus in Taurus. And these reside in the first decan of both of these constellations. The first decan of Leo is ruled by the Five of Wands, that is strife. The first decan of Taurus is ruled by the Five of Disc, and that is worry. So we have strife. Another word for strife would be like conflict, or a fight, or a battle. And then we have worry. And then we have a square. And a square is tension. So why who I'm talking to this morning, or wherever you might find this video, is somebody that's dealing with a lot of inner tension, or even outer tension, beef, misunderstanding. uh Really, it's like not what you want, right? If you want peace and ease, and you want things to work out, this particular energy, depending on where it's at in your chart, things are not quote unquote working out in the way that you quote unquote want them to work out. However, uh, if you are an adept, or been in this spiritual game for a long time, you get used to alchemizing negative things. And what that means is, when you are faced with uh, negative trials and tribulations, one does not break down, but one understands that it's time to break through, or have a breakthrough. So when you look at the planetary energies within the deacon, that is like our knight in shining armor. They are coming within the planetary energy to produce a solution. Uranus is producing the solution of awakenings and massive changes, and the sun is bringing a centeredness and awareness of identity, who you are. Now, there's two ways to look at who you are. Shaniqua Jenkins from Barberton, Ohio, or a spiritual being having a human experience. Thus, that's who you truly are, and that's where your true center is. So the sun plays or uses dual modes. And let me just send this text message real quick. All right. So the sun plays dual roles, and in reference to Leo, it will be a situation to say, how do I cultivate my talents, my skills, or my abilities. And if you are an ego-centered person and you're like, all right, I went to school, I went to college, I know a little bit of this, I know a little bit of that, jack of all trades, master of none. But when you are a spiritual being, and we all have the capabilities of becoming a spiritual being by raising Kundalini is our spiritual intelligence. So no matter how long you knew me, no matter how deep you think you are, if you haven't raised if you haven't raised Kundalini, meaning that you have accessed the part of your brain, the part of your mind, the part of your gnosis that is transcending this lifetime, then Leo energy is like, damn, am I supposed to perform on the stage? Am I supposed to be Beyonce? No, you're supposed to raise Kundalini. Kundalini is going to give you knowledge. It's going to give you something that you can sit back on and say, I didn't even realize this about me, or I could actually do it, or an idea, or a chance meeting. It's like here to give you everything that you want at an electromagnetic level, but you have to begin to see yourself as that. So, this is the sun in Leo coming into a perfect square with Uranus, which is like doing very, very big things, huge things in finances, behind the scenes, setting you up for how your future is going to be. It's all taking place right now in Taurus. So, your finances, which is, a big thing for people, Uranus and Taurus is giving you that opening. So, what is the deal with Uranus and Taurus? The deal is this: you got a job. If you have a job, you are like have prime position to change your life in so many different ways, right? You can invest your paycheck in your business bank account. You could invest in crypto, a crypto wallet. You could, I wouldn't necessarily say save, but you could increase your knowledge base on stocks, get you a part of like a mutual fund. You know, it's many different ways right now that, say, for instance, in 1996, you wanted to trade stocks, you didn't have no internet access. How the hell was you going to trade stocks? You would have had to do a whole bunch. Now you can download an app. You can download 1,000 apps, and you can pick and choose the best stock buying app and take a point of your paycheck that you was going to spend on loud on that za and invest it. And the opportunity for working class people to create generational wealth is wide open. So Uranus in Taurus is like, hey, if you tired of being broke and you don't want to be broke, you don't have to be broke. But what are you doing today? So you might be, it's different scenarios, right? It's the family who's trying to buy a house and, save money, and, it's in structure, it's in order, whatever the case may be. But then it's single people doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And within this, if you are single and you are having a mental breakdown, think about it. You ain't got no girlfriend, you ain't got no kids asking you for nothing. You just you. But you can't pull yourself out of bed. You can't get your hand from out of your head. This is Mercury and Uranus teaming up to say, Hey now, you're an all-star, you're a rock star, get your game on. Hey, hey. Like, get in the game. What are you going to do? Because what the thing is with Uranus and Taurus is like, well, I just don't want to do nothing. It's like, well, the Sun square Uranus is saying, well, don't nobody do nothing. I mean, you gotta do something. Like, go down to the shelter and figure out how you can adopt a cat or something. You can't not like cats or dogs or parrots or hamsters, nigga. Like, you gotta like a snake. You gotta like something. You gotta be responsible for something and look at life, and it's giving you a test or an edge. It's creating tension. Now, tension is like, I shouldn't feel tension. I should just have ease. But when you talk about alchemy, which is the topic of the show, it is to have a breakthrough. And a breakthrough generally comes from a breakdown. So the sun is in an area where it creates chaos. This is the breakdown. Uranus is in an area where there is mental, double mental focus on a problem. Not in a way where you focus on a problem, it grows, but in a way where you focus on a problem and understand that there is a solution. That is the breakthrough. Another level of the breakthrough is understanding that it's angels and higher entities working on your behalf. And if you don't believe in that, then rock out with your cock out, do it all by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even worry, don't even ask for no entities to assist you in this big ass world we live in. Do it all for yourself. To certain entities, we are nothing but ants. They look down on us like, damn, these humans is dumb as hell. Because the same way we look down on ants, and the ant can't fathom our reality as humans, it's entities that actually operate like, man, I don't give a fuck about a human. This is why, in order to understand Uranus and sudden changes, you have to understand the perspective of the totality of the universe within you living in it. So this begins a dualistic conversation. Oh, wow, it's just me by myself. What am I going to do? Or, oh, wow, I'm a part of the totality. I'm a part of the singularity. If I don't work at this fucking White Castle, me and this robot, I'll be okay if I put in my 2 week notice. My life's not over if I don't work at Walmart as a greeter. My life is going to be perfectly fine if I don't have to ask people, you mind if I check your ID? You mind if I check your ID? You might, like, I don't have to do this shit. Or I'm doing this shit because I'm taking these $500 paychecks and I'm investing it into uh something, all the way from NFT, meme coins. Everything requires financial literacy. So don't take this as financial advice, but these are just things to research. NFTs, meme coins, and because you can lose money too. So that's why I'm saying do your research. I'm not going to say, oh, invest in stocks, you'll make money. You'll probably lose money at first. I said learn about it. Put yourself in the game, because you got billions of people living outside of the system, whereas another cool billion is working within the system. So you got to ask yourself, how am I going to play in this matrix? So let's get into some of the more uh breakdownish concepts pertaining to the sun in Leo and Uranus in Taurus. So, as I said, the sun is in the first decan of Leo, and the sun is providing wisdom into a chaotic situation, which brings us to the concept of entropy and spiritual entropy. What is spiritual entropy? Spiritual entropy is when you naturally drift away from your spiritual practices. Spiritual entropy is when you naturally drift away from your spiritual practices. Physical entropy is the natural disorder of things, especially when things are in suspended animation. So if I had 5 bricks in my hand and I threw them in the air, entropy is that they're going to land in random places. The opposite of entropy is before I throw them in the air. Before I threw them in the air, they was ordered, they was stacked on top of each other like a pyramid. And no matter what I was going to do, if I never threw them in the air, sooner or later, those bricks was going to spread apart and break and disintegrate into dust. This laptop that I'm talking on, eventually is going to be nothing but dust. It's not ever going to exist. Everything that we see is going to exist as mere dust particles, nanobites. That's entropy. You can't avoid it. So in this life, you got to really choose what you hold on to and what you let go of. Remember old school McDonald's with the play places? Those were the days, right? Is no such thing as that no more, right? McDonald's, they look like this now. And that's a system or a sign of entropy. Go to the ghetto and drive around. What you gonna see? Businesses closed. Go to that rinky-dink town. You gonna see Joe's mufflers. It's just all boarded up. You can barely see. It say Hose now. It's a Hose muffler. It don't even say Joe. That's entropy. So what do people do to avoid entropy? They wash it down, they clean it, they hold it together, they make sure that entropy don't set in. They get somebody to come wash the concrete, hire somebody to come lay the concrete, right? Because sooner or later the concrete going to break apart, it's going to look all crazy. Spiritually, people feel that they don't need spirituality no more because they did spirituality in the past. And the problem is that because spirituality was so long ago for y'all, where your psychic abilities dissipate within your practice, your awareness, your connection to source, it weakens because there is no practice. And the reason why there is no practice is because entropy. It's a natural law. So the sun entering into this area every single year, the moon entering into this area every 28 days is a constant reminder to stay on your shit because it is your psychic abilities that you're not dealing with. The ego say, "Oh, I took a class 6 months ago. I took a class 6 years ago. I read a book 10 years ago. I don't really even need that shit." But then think about when shit was working for you. Now think about how shit don't be working for you. Then think about how the inside creates the outside. Your inner work is going to be your outer representation at the end of the day. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about consistent, sincere spiritual work in these particular times of spiritual awakening. Because guess what? It's not a test, it's not a game. Guess what? Them goddamn archons is everybody that you work, everybody that's you gotta be around, nigga. You gotta be around motherfuckers right now, possessed by the devil. And what the fuck you gonna do? You done already not even meditated or prayed or prioritized your spiritual work. You've prioritized money, nigga. Money not even real. Money got all type of sigils on it. That's why Spirit introduced the credit card. That's why Spirit introduced the debit card in the financial system. Because niggas was locked down in that cash system. Niggas couldn't even tap into their spirit. Now, think about how many people have tapped into their spirit and figured it out one way or another. Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, EBT. Motherfuckers, for years, niggas have had to figure it out in the spiritual world. So now we got to sit back and think like, all right, what works? And what don't work, we got to let it go. And not even like you got to let it go. It's going to let itself go. So think about your baby mom and your baby dad. It's like Medusa. Them motherfuckers done turned into stone. You be trying to figure out. One's in the chat. You be trying to figure out, why did I even like them in the fucking first place? So at one level, it's like, oh my God. Imagine, like, remember, so say for instance, you go through something, you go through a breakup, and like that first onset of a breakup, you're thinking about like how people gonna look at you, what your mama gonna say, what her mama gonna say. Y'all got mutual friends. 10 years down the road, you like, man, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know what I was even tripping on. Right? So this is entropy. Entropy at first is like, oh, I'm attached to this physical world, but you are a spiritual being. Okay, what is the get down? Right? So once again, if you done been here before, you know how this shit goes. It's like you watching a movie. That's what life is like with people, kids, girlfriends, boyfriends, mamas, daddies. See, I'm talking to spiritual people right now. I'm not talking to regular people, because it's regular motherfuckers like your mama fucking narcissist and you gotta do everything she say because you love the abuse. Spiritual people like, mom, go to hell. I'm not about to deal with you. Daddy, I'm not about to deal with you if you negative energy. And motherfuckers look at you like you crazy. And it'll be years. Niggas don't hear from you no more. And you fine. Because at first you like, damn, I needed you. Then the deeper you get into this shit, what did you need? This nigga was smoking Black and Milds. This nigga sniffed coke. What did you need? This nigga is an alcoholic. She is an alcoholic. What did you actually need? This motherfucker got psychological issues like psychosis, possessed by demons. What did you need? Spiritual people have a different level of magnetism that people who are not spiritual look at you like you lucky. Damn, you lucky. How you looking at yourself like, dog, I got $20 in the bank. What are you talking about? Oh, you so fucking blessed. How? So once again, we're looking at the sun in Leo as a point of raising Kundalini, more or less, so you can be able to see yourself and rest in your own energy. Because in 2025, if you're relying on a wife or a husband or a mom or a dad, you are fucked, because you don't know if them people is possessed by demons. And if they possessed by demons, it is your love that is going to keep you in your own prison. It is your light that will attract the perfect thing for you and the most fucked up thing for you. So you have to do the alchemy to work it through, because you will be a spiritual being in a relationship where a person is treating you like a second class citizen because of your light. But as a spiritual being, you will also be in a relationship with a person loving you like a god. But it's your lack of seeing what you deserve that will be the reason as to how and why you show up today. So once again, human, probably single, dealing with a nigga who ain't shit, treating you like ain't shit, and you trying to figure it out because you're a human, you got a human mindset, and it is what it is. It's all like a CD, and the CD is like a program. All right, today we're gonna wear quick weaves. All right, scratch that, we wearing lace fronts. All right, scratch that, we wearing full frontals. It's a program, it's a CD-ROM. So once again, you take the CD-ROM out, and then you like, shit, I love the hair that's growing out my fucking scalp. God gave me this. And it's like, people going to judge you. People going to look at you funny. People going to look at you like you crazy. But guess what? You have a soul. So you could be ugly. You could be fat. You could be broke. You could be all of the shit that people tell you that you just the most fucked up person in the world. But what they don't know and what they don't see is your soul. So therefore, once you have it, that's your electromagnetic force. That is something that most people would actually sell for millions, billions of dollars. You have it right now. So it would be like this, right? Somebody might say, you got a business, right? You're not the top dog, right? Nobody is the top dog because the top dog is the top dog. So we all the underdog, for lack of better words, right? So a person might say, I'm not going to spin with you because you're not the top dog. And you could counter that and say, right, because you want to be with the top dog, but the top dog, they not even going to talk to you. I mean, I know some spiritual groups, man. Y'all don't ever be talking to the person that y'all signed up for, one in the chat. And if they do talk to you, it's you and 50 other motherfuckers. And then, all right, we open up to a Q&A. I loved your question. I'm going to have to think about it. I'll email you later. Or my assistant going to email you later. I've been in the spiritual groups. So you don't get access. So when you deal with me, I'll give you my cell phone number. You might hear some kids yelling in the background. You might hear some kids yelling in the background. I might be in the middle of a love-making session. I'll give you my cell phone number. Shit, you can talk to me. I don't care. You just gotta deal with random crying. I don't know. I'll just be sitting here chilling and then just what's going on? Nigga just looking at me crying. I'm looking at him like, what's going on? Is you hurt? No. Anybody hit you? No. Well, you just need to let this out. Yeah, all right, just go in the corner, scream. I don't. What you want me to do? I'm in the middle of something like. But I'm not the top dog. I'm me. You have access to me. I'm like I have thousands of reviews. I'm like good at this shit, but I'm not about to like. Some people ain't good at shit, right? And they got the optics, the optics of being a spiritualist, and then they get a large group of people around them to make it seem that they are more spiritual than they actually is, and then they operate through like you got to deal with Bonquisha going to send it to Sherelle going to send it to me, but I'm not. They never going to send it to me because it's like I don't know. It's weird, right? It's like business. It's like motherfuckers is very smart and intelligent and how to like group people in and reel people in. And at the bottom line, motherfuckers is like, all right, we making a lot of money because we so smart. But what I'm talking about is spirituality. Or if you like a cleaning service, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can book with, the world's biggest cleaning service, but can you call them 24 hours? If you need an emergency cleaning appointment, like you can always market yourself based upon who you is, and who you is being, the underdog or the small guy. Like you can point out their flaws. So that's the thing with being too big. When you get too big, it's like you think people gonna love you. People just gonna hate you for it. So it cool, like cool. You know what I'm saying? If you just know people not gonna be happy for you. People not gonna be proud of you. So make sure you're doing it for you. And if you ain't got there yet, make sure that you know who you are and what you are good at. And then also figure out why anybody actually want to spend with you. Because once again, if you have a soul, start there. Because whatever you're doing, you could meditate, put your soul energy over this project, this product, this service, right? This is from the soul. It really meditate on your soul in a space where you relax your body. Don't worry about your weight. Don't worry about your height. Don't worry about your race. Don't worry about your gender. Don't worry about how many bills you got. Don't worry about all of the stress you've been through, because you've been stressed since 1990 fucking 4. You've been paying bills every month ever since. It's always been a thing. So let it go. Deal with your soul. Feel how your soul feels. Because if you can't feel how your soul feels, then you can't even recognize it within yourself, and you can't even imbue this energy into whatever it is that you're creating. So back to entropy. Entropy is physical, but it's also spiritual in the fact of in this life, you either going to say, I need my soul, so I'm going to hold on to it. How do you hold on to your soul? By having soulful conversations, spiritual work, meditation, reflection work, being intentional, conscious as to pulling your soul back to you through work, through daily practice. Because we are also seeing how when I attached to this relationship, what happened? It fell apart. When I attached to this job, what happened? It fell apart. When I attached to this friendship, what happened? It fell apart. When I attached to this other relationship, what happened? It fell apart. When I said, all right, I'm gonna just have sex and I ain't going, fall in love, what happened? It fell apart. It's keep happening. The more that you attach to physical things, you'll never get the physical thing that you think that you're going to get. You're literally going to have to find it within yourself. And does that mean you don't get jobs, or that means you don't find love? No, you know that entropy is going to set in. Even when you find the love of your life, I'm telling you, when you find the love of your life, it's the saddest thing, bro. Cause you know y'all gonna die one day. And it's like, fuck, man. You know, it's heart-wrenching. Imagine being with somebody and you know you're not even going to be with them long term and you don't even care. Imagine being with somebody like, man, I love this person. I want to be with this person for the rest of my life, and we only get this life to spend together. If we can find each other in another life, cool. But in this life, we got a finite moment of time, and it's like it's nerve-wracking, you know, because entropy is a real thing. So what does it bring you into? Appreciation, gratitude, being soft, being in the moment, falling in love with each moment, falling in love with yourself. Yeah. So this is the highlight of the sun and Leo, which would be entropy. The highlight for the Uranus in the first deacon of, I want to say Libra, but it is Taurus, is in the deacon of worry, which is ruled by Mercury, which is ruled by our thoughts. And our thoughts that stem from a breakdown, right? It naturally leads to a breakthrough. So, specifically, how though? Like, how does a breakdown lead to a breakthrough? Because back to being the underdog, you can't lose. After you done lost, you can't lose anymore. So having your back against the wall is a good place. Being at rock bottom is a good place, which means that your ability to admit defeat is your ability to transcend to the next level. You've been here before. It is just that whatever you have been attached to, whether it's been negative things, being isolated, being in a vulnerable position, uh, being injured, uh, being depressed, like being attached to certain negative dispositions is scary a lot of time because we don't want it to become worse. When we accept that this is the worst that it's actually going to get, then the next level is breakthrough because you can't go backwards anymore. So Uranus in this first deacon exercising all of the worry demons. It's like I was worried about this, I was worried about that, I was trying to figure this out, I was trying to figure that out, and you ain't figure it out. Or if you keep trying to figure things out, you'll never figure it out. You have to let it go. And when you fully let it go, you are entering into a new dimension because the world where it was Toys R Us, Joanne Fabrics, going to the mall, that's not a world no more. This whole world is different to whereas, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, motherfuckers used to go to the club. Now, 10 o'clock at night, people is going out jogging. Why? Because people want to experience endorphins one way or another. What we have realized through body hacks is that to feel good, you have to exercise. You can drink and smoke all the fuck you want to do, but you gonna be, it's like it's certain levels of endorphins, it's certain levels of feel good hormones that shit, I can't even afford it. And what I look like going to a section and I know I can get a bottle of Hennessy for $40. I know I can. And I go to the club and they tell me 375. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I can't do it. I don't know how y'all do it. Section culture, buying bottles at the club, that's a whole level of baller. I don't even want to reach for real because it's just stupid to me. So with all that being said, going to the club, um, just doing regular normal shit that we've been programmed to do, that program is now ending and a new program is entering. So it'll be like 20 years from now. and it's Friday night and it's 10 o'clock, it's going to be normal to see bike riding clubs. Same way it was normal to see people go to the club. So with our people, this is really scary because as the world progresses and the science is getting released, niggas is in their social circles, in their own feelings, and they not ready to learn any new information. Our people, we know our people, cognitive dissonance, cognitive bias, negativity bias from the cradle to the grave. So, as a spiritual person, you got to be in 2025 and let them niggas go and let them niggas do whatever the fuck they going to do. Every Saturday, they eating goddamn pork and drinking liquor. Nigga, you can't go. Why? Ain't enough good feelings in the world. The same thing that make you laugh gonna make you cry, nigga. Don't do it. Join you a bike club that ride bikes on Saturday nights. Stop doing the tomfoolery because you love niggas. Because you losing yourself every single weekend. You losing yourself every single day. You're not doing any spiritual practices to create a breakthrough. So therefore, the negative spiral is always going to be present. Because the ego then says, I don't need to do spiritual work because I did spiritual work back in the day. Or I don't really like her, or I don't really like him. And that's your, like, this ain't about likes or dislikes. This is about if you are willing to do spiritual work or not. Because in the meantime, in between time, when you're serious about this work, you will be seen in the astral. You will be seen in the other dimensions. We will connect. We will find each other in this life based upon our inner work. But if you don't do no inner work, people know that as well too, because of how you show up. So, man, it's a lot of things that is taking place that is down for your destruction. In this particular time, in this particular age, you have a choice. So the thing is, are you comfortable? Or are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because being comfortable is like you like being comfortable is some weird shit, right? Because you work so hard to become comfortable. And in that comfort, it's like you have created your own prison, right? And then you got to figure out how to get out of the prison that you created for yourself. So how does this look? Starting relationships you ain't have no business starting, being in like jobs that you feel like, damn, it feel like a pyramid scheme. You losing more money working there than you is making money there. It's like everything, or you needed to move so bad out of a situation and now you got to pay all of the bills so bad. It's like so many times when you're dealing with people, it's like, damn, you really worked to put yourself in that prison, didn't you? And so what is the next step? What is the next evolution of the normal human mind and how it thank you, how it works and enters into certain said dimensions? Well, when you serious about this spiritual work, what you will start to notice is that the external world starts to respond to your inner world. And the reason that I'm saying is because we don't really have that knowledge. Sometimes we think like, why am I doing this spiritual shit at all? And I'm saying it's to say the work that people have done have created the world, this fertile landscape for you to plant your seed and however you want to plant your seed, but have you given yourself the permission to move forward? Or are you under some form of mind control in reference to wife, husband, mother, daughter? I mean, mother, husband, mother, husband, mother, husband, wife. I'm sorry, mother, father, wife, husband. Get kind of confusing, right? So, in those particular paradigms, those are the people that can fuck you up the most because they're pulling you back, right? So you with somebody, right? And they're like, damn, I wish you was like how you used to be. Once in the chat, if you ever heard somebody say that, a significant other say, damn, you just not how you used to be. Like to me, as she said, you know, it's a stranger in my house, right? Why? Because people change. And within the paradigm of a relationship, if that change don't facilitate my ego or what I'm trying to do, it's a motherfucking problem. Now imagine your soul wants you to change and your partner is like making a hussy fit about it. Like, you're changing, I don't want you to change. Guess what's going to happen? You're not going to change. But your soul wants you to change. So this is basically the Sun square Uranus, where the tension is you absolutely need to change. And the other tension is you don't even know what you're changing into, like a caterpillar that's changing into a butterfly. You never fucking flown before. You don't know what it's like to goddamn eat off a flower. You don't know shit about shit. You just know you got to go into this motherfucking cocoon, and then your family members is like, "God, dog, why is you going in that cocoon? You gonna become a caterpillar, and you gonna leave us." But you got to understand, it's natural for me to be a butterfly. It's natural for me to be this. It's biology. It's not how I feel. It's not what I like. It's not what I love. It's not whether I'm imagine it to be. No, I'm going to transform into a butterfly. The world as a caterpillar don't exist to me. And it's like we had some good times. We went to the movies. We went on two mans. But this butterfly shit, I ain't my whole family is not invited into this cocoon, nigga. What the fuck? That's not even so we're looking at spirituality and we're looking at biology and we're like, oh, we're seeing it now. We're understanding it. All caterpillars don't become butterflies. Some caterpillars do. Who are you? And for the sake of what? Right? I am going to continue to be a caterpillar because this is what I'm comfortable doing. Or biologically, spiritually, I was meant for more. And I have this fire burning inside of me that cannot be quenched by making you niggas happy. So while many people will remain comfortable, others are simply tired of being tired and ready to act toward change. This is what happened when old structures collapse, new energies are released, pushing us into transformation. The question is, are you ready to go forward in this world, or are you afraid based upon the past? Because I'm telling you niggas, we got some ammo. We ready to fight. We ready to go to war. We ready to win. But imagine going to war with a whole bunch of niggas with their back turned, y'all. You get with your family, what they say. Oh, remember when you used to be, oh, you done got so big. You used to piss on yourself when you was little. Remember that? I'm 36, goddamn auntie. What the fuck is we doing here? What do you mean? Oh, look at little doodle streak. Little doodle streak running around. You got a little girlfriend now? Girl, I tell you, it was 11. He spent the night over my house. I went to go wash his clothes. He had a big doodle streak, girl. I was like, Jermaine. Well, that's why I call him little doodle streak to this day. But y'all have fun. Nice meeting you. You know, it's all coming to a head, man. I just be feeling good because I don't take breaks when it comes to this shit. And I'm not bragging. I feel like sometimes I feel slow for it, but I sometimes I feel a little slow for it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll be on top of this shit, man. So in 2025, which is this year, completing the cycle and letting go, I wrote this December 26, 2024. And 2025 is a 9 year, which makes 2026 a 1 year. All right. So I'm saying all of this to say we got a whole new world coming through on like it's loading. It's a whole new beginning. All of this whole 9 year period. So do 2011, boy. No, I'm sorry. 2016, y'all. Let's do the let's do a collective group hug, right? We letting go of this 9 year transit from 2016 to 2025. Let's all hug each other, y'all. Group hug. Y'all hugging? We letting this shit this whole 9 year period, guys. We letting this shit go, y'all. Group hug, y'all. Come here. You come hug us. We all hugging each other, right? Because this motherfucker was a doozy. Who would have knew? Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk it? I got some coffee, so I'm back. No. So we're going to do the 3 points of breakthrough. The first point of breakthrough is clarity. To move into a breakthrough, Ashe. The first point of clarity is to move. Well, the first point is clarity. To move into a breakthrough, you must be clear on what you are seeking, creating, or embodying. So once again, to be clear, you can't be turned around worried about what happened between you and Jermaine and Romelio. You and Bonquisha and Talisha didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. You need to be clear on just that. Like, that shit is over with. This is where I'm at now. Like, delete, block, remove, change your phone number. Don't let no energies distort and ruin you. And I'm talking about mama, she better be cool. Daddy, he better be cool. Your husband, he better be cool. Your wife, she better be cool. Don't nobody come calling you fucking with your energy. You know what I'm saying? Don't call. I'm like, listen, leave me the fuck alone. Hang up type shit, right? You have to be clear on what you are seeking, creating, and embodying. What's the issue? Your kids calling you. Hey, mom, guess what happened at school today? Respectfully, Gerard, I don't give a fuck. I'm seeking, creating, embodying the energy. You gotta learn to handle shit your own. That's your school life, nigga. I don't even care. Bye. That nigga 17, right? You don't gotta be micromanaging that nigga. What are you seeking, creating, and embodying in your life? I looked at my kids this morning. I'm like, I'm tired of y'all asking me what y'all need to do in the morning. We do this shit every morning. Like, stop. Wake up and do all type of crazy shit without me telling y'all nothing of doing it. Why, when it comes to the good shit, y'all need me to tell y'all? You 12, you 10, I want y'all to start waking up with it. You know what I mean? Cause daddy on his own mission right now. Shit. Nigga, LeBron James don't stop shooting his three to see what his daughter will. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Wait a second. I gotta. Sir, you all right? I heard. I felt in the ethers you was having a nigga. When you locked in, you gotta be locked in. So people in your life gotta understand clarity. We all gotta be on the same page. Cause you can say I'm about to hood. I'm clear. I'm clear. But you don't have respect in your household. So clarity don't matter. Why? Because the moment you get clear, here come niggas. Hey, dad, can you come do this random thing with me that I want you to do to break your concentration real quick? I know you're in the middle of something very important, but quite frankly, dad, I don't care. Like I be telling my kids, like, you can't rely on me for emotional balance. Cause they be asking me a question based upon like how I'm gonna answer. It's gonna be like how they gonna feel. And I like they'll say something like, Dad, can you take us to get some ice cream? And I'm just like, this is an example. It's always some shit that they asking me so I can balance out their emotions. But like, Dad's going to take us somewhere, or Dad's going to save us. Because when Dad takes us somewhere, we don't have to balance our emotions based upon what we're actually dealing with. Because when we go to Chuck E. Cheese, it's like automatic good. Or if we go to the park, it's like automatic good. And those are good things. But what I'm trying to teach is when you're not getting what you want, can you balance your emotions? Right. So how do you balance your emotions as a little boy? You pull out the pen and pad and you start writing, you start journaling, you start coloring, you start drawing. Right. Because now you done spent 2 hours drawing and you was in the flow state. You know what I'm saying? So, and while you was in the flow state, daddy was in the flow state too. So it's like you gotta like put people on to your shit. Like, because once again, if everybody is relying on you for some type of emotional balance, y'all got friends that do this shit. Hey girl, guess what happened? Hey girl, guess what happened? This nigga done cheated on me again. So now she's using you for like emotional balance. Oh, it ain't your, that's crazy. Fuck that nigga. Da, 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 da. Like you feeding into that. And now she like, girl, I feel so much better that I talk to you. But guess what? You now emotionally unbalanced. Now you kind of confused. You was feeling good about going to the gym and you had your whole day planned and now you just driving down the road like you don't know what you about to do, right? Because that's how clarity works. Clarity is as clarity does. The second point is identity, right? Part of Taurus energy, where it talks a lot about money, money in reference to Taurus energy is specifically into you being who you're supposed to be. So your identity is not your job because you can lose your job. It's not your circumstance because your circumstance can change, right? Even your identity is not the person that you think that you are. Like, say, for instance, I'm trying to do a reading with somebody who knows who they are. Well, I could never give you a reading for real because you're not willing to learn who you are astrally. You're so convinced in the story that you tell yourself every day. You have 75,000 thoughts a day to which you are telling yourself who you are, and you don't have any good references. You don't have any good source material. You just swinging from the hip based upon your small anecdotal viewpoint of life. Who you are as a cosmological being that requires some exploring from you. And once you start to figure out who you are, it's going to change those around you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, as you grow, as you change, you need somebody that's going to support you. Back in the day, my homie was telling me, like, when you get a girl and whatever you decide to do, she should support you because it's one way to support you. She's supporting you when you're doing good. But once again, you could be doing bad, and now she looking at you different. So if you was just a grass collector, right? That's just who you are at this moment. That grass collector might be looking at you crazy until you start in your landscaping business, right? And now it's like, oh, you collected all that grass and it inspired you to be a landscaper. I don't know how it did it, but it just did because your spirit was you. Your spirit know you stupid. Let's start there. Your spirit know you dumb as hell. So your spirit gonna have you doing a whole bunch of weird shit just so you can start getting a point. Your spirit know you don't get the message. Even if I told you, your Venus is in your third house, you need to start, speaking to women and uplifting women. Hood, I always had visions of doing that. Hood, I always wanted to do that. Well, you should do it. I don't know, Hood. I'm just so be nervous. Like I don't know. I'm just scared. Your identity is not set in stone. Your identity, because Mercury rules this particular deacon, is very fluid. So Uranus in this particular deacon, the energy is very fluid in reference to who you can be and who you are changing to be. If you want to see yourself as wealthy, if you want to see yourself in love with a family, however you want to see it, and if you ain't got it today, you can begin to change because your identity is fluid. It's ever changing. And whatever you experience in the past is not going to dictate who you are going to be in the present. You could have spent these last 20 years being a stud. Now the next part of your phase is you being super ultra feminine. And what the fuck is somebody going to do when you decide to be a super feminine woman? They going to tell you to stop? What if you've been ultra feminine your whole life and now you doing a Cassie, cutting the side of your hair off? You walking around with some jeans and Timberland boots on. You stealing all of the hoes. It's not fair. You too cute to be a stud. But can we stop it? No. Why? Because the third point of breakthrough is choice. You can choose to be a stud. You can choose to be feminine. You can choose to be fat. You can choose to be skinny. Ain't nothing. We done seen it all. In this 9-year period, 2016 to 2025, this is goddamn the Murphy's Law transit. Anything that could go wrong actually went wrong. The things you was most afraid of actually happened, and now what? Because none of this shit is real. Now, am I saying I agree with your choice? Probably not. But do it matter? Hell no. It don't matter if I agree with it, like it. It don't matter. Nigga, it's your life. This world is over. Bobby Hemmett told us this shit was over in 99. 26 years later, that was prophetic. Now, what is the choice? The choice is for you to either understand yourself as a spiritual being or understand yourself as a human, a citizen, credit score, accolades, certificates, awards on the wall. That's your identity. That's who you fighting for. Motherfuckers that tell you to go to hell if you don't get them McDonald's. I fucking hate you, mom. Like, what? I said I wanted fucking McDonald's. You could be the greatest mom in the world. Your kids will hate you. Nobody talks about that. You be the greatest dad in the world. Kids will hate you, can't stand you because you're trying to implement discipline. You could be the greatest mom in the world until you take that tablet away. Now you an ain't shit bitch. That's why you ain't got no man. It's all types of crazy shit that go on between you and these kids. So clarity comes from the soul, identity comes from the soul, choice comes from the soul, and this is how you break through. You trying to make it to whereas it's a lot of people riding around right now this morning on their way to work or um, on their way to their next order or whatever the case may be, feeling like they're a failure in life because people didn't like them. Ones in the chat feeling like the way they mama treated them or the way they kids treat them or the way they husband treated them is somehow a reflection on them, but that is not a breakthrough. That is a breakdown. That's some shit where you what I call a downward spiral because everything is in motion, everything is going. So you letting people you letting people label you, saying what you is and what you not, then shit, you ain't even in the game right now. You don't understand spirituality. In the midst of me telling my kids you not getting no fucking McDonald's is in the same midst that I don't lose no fucking sleep about it. Cause I could tell these kids no, and they all start crying. They all start crying. I don't give a fuck. I said no. Shit, it don't matter. Like they'll get over it. What the hell? This is what's happening. And that's clarity. Cause you like shit. Lack of clarity is trying to make these motherfucking niggas happy. I've been there too. Shit, I've been there the longest time. Trying to be a fucking good dad to niggas that was just like I was making little mini terrorists out here in these streets. You feel me? So yeah, clarity, identity, and choice is the 3 points to a breakthrough. It like when you lay it out, it's easy to break through any barrier. Except jail. You ain't gonna break through that because they got guards and things of that nature. Unless you them niggas in New Orleans. If it's a will, it's a way. Right? But shout out to y'all for staying out of jail. Especially me. So what we're addressing in entropy versus breakthrough is the fact of chaos and how to live in this world with chaos. Chaos is the fact that nothing is ordered within itself. However, we can look at things and help it become ordered. Our house can be a dirty mess and we can clean it too. So that's the good thing about humans. You ain't never seen a dog clean his room. You ain't never seen a pig clean up the pigsty. You ain't never seen chicken clean up the sty. Or the wherever they at. You ain't never seen dogs clean up a kennel. The only closest thing I seen is a cat shitting in a litter box. And even that is fucking disgusting. I hate it. But with all of that being said, as human beings, we can look at chaos and do something about it. Whether it is to clean it up, tidy it up, or just simply let it go. But we need to be present. And being present is not letting the past hold us back. These whatever fears, anxieties, like these things, we have to really let it go and just like trust our souls and have faith in those particular concepts. Because without faith, you're not even going to move in the direction of your soul. And that's really the truth. Right. So faith is something that you're making a choice, and that choice is coming from your soul 1,000,000% of the time. So This is like in the article is broken down because it's like I was just like it's basically three concepts that we're working with. I was trying to show you the outline, but I would have to post it to show you. So we're giving you the metaphysical concept, then we're giving you the astrological concept, and then we're giving you what to look for collectively in reference to the energy. So, and I just remembered I got to go somewhere at 10:45, so I'm about to just go through this real quick, and then I'm gonna post this video, and I'm gonna post the video, I'll post the article, and so y'all be able to then figure out how this energy is aligning with you in your chart based on the house that it shows up in. So for me personally, this is happening. The sun is going to be in my 11th house, which means that Uranus is going to be in my 8th house. So the entropy is instability and shared finances, debt, intimacy challenges, friendships, and group goals, which I feel all of that. The breakthrough is healthier power dynamics, allow deeper, more authentic collaborations. And that's actually what I'm looking forward to in my whole entire life. So the astrology of it, because the Sun square Uranus is going to be a weekly transit, meaning that the energy we're going to feel it all week. So what we could expect is significant changes throughout this week. We could, keep your eyes open, keep your eyes on the swivel. We're in a space of a lot of things changing, whether it is breakdowns or breakthroughs, whether it's personally or collectively. So it's very important to deal with, what house the sun is in your chart, what house Uranus is in your chart, so you don't get caught surprise, right? So in the form of the eighth house, just dealing with my own personal energy, because it's like I don't know. Sometimes I could just be a little weird. A lot of times I don't even know why. But with Uranus being in my eighth house in this square, I just been more relaxed. And if I don't get what I want, I'm okay with that as well. And because I've grown to this perspective because Uranus in my eighth house have been kicking my ass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I gotta get with this shit. I gotta get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Uranus entering Taurus, Uranus entering my eighth house. Like, I'm not used to it because I'm comfortable being a weirdo. But it's like, all right, now I'm just to the point now where I'm like, I'm learning to be comfortable changing. Because the eighth house is the house of transformation, and I don't have any natal planets in my eighth house. So whenever transit planets enter my eighth house, I'm naturally uncomfortable. But what I'm learning is like, okay, I'm okay. I was for a long time, I wasn't okay with changing. Like I wasn't okay with changing. I wanted things to stay the same for real, whatever that looked like. And for me now, it's like I'm okay with changing. I'm okay with growing. I'm okay with letting go versions of myself that don't need to come. Like it's like I don't know what I'm gonna look like after Uranus is going to transit out of my eighth house. But I know that I'm changing. I know that I'm becoming a different person. I'm okay with letting go. I'm okay with getting better. I'm even okay with going back to things that worked in the past and doing that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with it all. So at first I wasn't. But whatever house Uranus is in your chart, you got to figure out where you need to be okay with those changes, because Uranus is a powerful planet and it's going to be activated by the sun. So, what can we expect this week? Right? We can expect some governmental shifts, scandals, sudden leadership changes, whether we're talking about um, president, vice president, cabinet changes, things of that nature. Like the government have been really doing some crazy shit with the Washington D.C. stuff over this past week. So what is the karma for that? We'll see this week. Um, Financial shakeups in banks, housing, and global trade. Maybe people don't know. They started the stable coins in the banks now. Um, as far as like people that are losing their housing, people that are losing their jobs, what we can kind of expect is some form of protest, some form of like getting people riled up, because shit is fucked up and it's just now starting. Uranus has to change all of the fucked up shit in America, because it's places like Taiwan, it's places like Bali that far more advanced in how they treat their people, and we're supposed to be like this advanced country, and we still treat our people like shit. So that's going to have to change, and this will be a week where we'll start to notice those change. I don't want to say I feel that the stock market is about to go crazy high this week. Like everything as far as finances and shit like that. You either, and I don't want to say it's either going to go up or going to go down. So I kind like I was just to say I would just put it on record like the stock market is going to go crazy high this week, but um I'm not, this is not financial advice. Be on the lookout in the tech platforms. Look out for new apps that can really help you in reference to things that you're trying to do in the wake of AI, um, coding things for people. A lot of apps that we use have been coded with AI. If we like use recent apps such as the T app was vibe coded. Vibe coded means AI. You can create apps. If you had an app idea, shit, start working with AI to help you either create the app or learn how to create the app. Because once again, this is something I'll be practicing every day. It's not easy, but once you figure out that this is the way that I can turn my ideas into reality, if you're a person that have a lot of ideas, get into some form of computer science. So, like I stated earlier, this is just the energy, man. Strikes, protests all over the country at all particular times because people are mad, right? People are overworked, underpaid. This is supposed to be the land of the free, and people are not getting their fair share. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. And if you feel that way, get involved, join up, fight back. Do not just, we cannot be a part of the majority and not do shit and not say shit and just let everybody treat us any way that they want to. Okay. And the same that I feel about the stock market, I feel the same for crypto. Wherever crypto is at, the push now is for 200K for Bitcoin. So wherever it's at, it might be at like 120, 120. It go from 120 to 200 real fast. Once again, not financial advice. So, what is this week overall going to be about? For those that know and those that care, we're going to see a growing public demand for systemic change. And it's going to be all over the country, all over the world, as people begin to awaken and really start to fight for the things that they truly deserve. And so, there are going to be, of course, and once again, the majority is not required for systemic change. The minority can very well do more for the whole entire world while the rest of us just, watch our Netflix program and act like status quo. And actually, that have been happening throughout time. People have just been doing their own thing while other people have been literally fighting for the world to change. All right. So, with all of that being said, make sure you visit the article. The article will be in the description if you're not watching this video live. Yeah, so I'll have this article and video on my Substack for those that want to, dissect it or figure out what house and what this meaning is for what house, and then also just really prepare for the energy of the week from a spiritual perspective so you can get closer to your soul, so you can recognize the breakdown and then also recognize the breakthrough. And I really do appreciate y'all for tapping in with me this morning, trying to make these morning videos a habit. But with all of that being said, stay tuned for more videos. Make sure you subscribe. Click the notification bell if that's a thing to get notified whenever we do go live. Be sure to join the Discord. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, things of that nature. And I will be back with more videos. Hopefully, we'll be back tonight with the initiates as we do what we do the moon day transits with Jabri sacred, and we'll lock in with more information. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Until later on in the evening, y'all hold it down, and I'll see y'all all on the flip side.